Okay, this is Excelsior the Lion, a Antioch, California furry. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one. Go figure. 100,000, you know. You think out of 100,000 there'd be at least more than one of us furries. I think there is one, but he's under 21, so that's the difficulty. Is I have to find somebody over 21, otherwise he's a pedophile. Oh, please. Welcome to the United States, you know. Guy walks down the street. He's a pedophile. The cops pick him up and take him over, and you know, oh, jeez. In Canada, you can kidnap a kid, and they say, oh, no, he's not a pedophile. You know, he's just some guy that, you know, and then the kid's returned and everything's, hey, okay, you know, we're not murderers out here, you know. California, they're murderers, you know. Uh-oh. Don't insult the state that you live in and the country that you live in. I'm not saying Canada's better. It's a little bit cold up there, you know. Anywho, oh boy. I really should follow a script so that we could stick to the subject. In this particular case, it could be a little bit of a long-winded one. You know, I wanted to start off, and I can't read in this position, but if I can read through the mouth, you know, just. And so I was thinking, you know, and you don't sing very well when sitting in a seated position, but however. There we go. Warm up. There we go. I think. I don't know. Is this a voice I should use? I have no idea. The impossible dream. I'll just do a couple lines. To dream the impossible dream. To fight the unbeatable foe. Which is trying to find a handler and friends out here in Antioch. Talk about an unbeatable foe. I always feel like I'm tilting at the windmills, you know. Stubborn as a jackass, you know. That's me. No, I'm not going to do that as my next fursuit. Come on, guys. Really, you know? Golly! I'll try singing some other time. Real fun to sing in a fursuit. It's all muted. I'm starting to notice that as I come across muted. So everybody's going, what is he talking about? He has to talk out loud so everybody can hear him. Oh, come on now. Oh, boy, I think I've had too many pills today. Really feeling lousy earlier, so I just went for a walk. No handler or anything like that, so I was just kind of, you know, scaring half of the neighborhood. Ah, it's a lion! Ah! You know, the SPCA or the dog pound people, you know. They were walking out there and they're looking, oh my God, let's get him! And I was saying, oh wait, I'm not a lion. We'll get to this in a minute too, by the way. Oh, yeah. All right, I'm not using the book as a prop. I'm going to prop the book. But in all seriousness, I should look up what month it was. But this is another in my video blogs where I do a video of one of my many happy stories. I lost count. I'm trying to keep a list, but it's something like 28 now. Major ones, you know. And this one is about the Further Confusion picnic. Not the convention, the picnic. Which I can't remember if that was August. I did do Fremont Bowling in August where I premiered this cute little guy. Where I premiered. Stay in character, Randy. Anyway, oh, if you could just see my expressions, you know, I'm going to do some animated stuff on the eyelids and going like this and all that, and the eyebrows are going, indeed, Captain. Why do I keep doing that, Jimmy, what's his name, stuttering? Oh, yeah, because nope, I'm not going to say it. Well, some people are saying, we're sick and tired of hearing you say your, you know, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, yeah. I mean, well, at least they're not sick and tired of me saying I wear my tail 24/7, I'm a furry. You're sick and tired of you saying you're a furry. Why can't you say you're a freakazoid? Okay. Anyhow, moving right. by the way, this is pent up stuff from, the neat thing about furries is we're able to, especially in fursuit, to do the things that you're not supposed to do in public, you know. You're not supposed to talk in funny voices in public and all that. Oh, whoa, no, God forbid. You're not supposed to have a plushie, a little stuffed animal sitting with you. I don't have anyone with me right now, but and so forth. And we get to have and do this. It's a community that says it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to act crazy, you know, sound weird and all that sort of stuff. Be yourself. Don't be somebody else. Because you'll never be that somebody else that people want you to be, whatever that's defined as, the so-called normal. And the way I define normal, the reason why I use it is it's the lack of something that's extraordinarily abnormal. Normal behavior means not doing unusual voices and keeping with the same personal voice fairly steadily and not doing characters. So, anyhow, back to the subject at hand. I gotta watch the clock here. Camera's limited to about 20-23 minutes. And the picnic, the Further Confusion 2011 picnic, was August or September. Pretty sure it was in October. October was kind of a dull month, unfortunately. You know, I used to, I'll sneak this in real quick. I used to hate Halloween. I used to hate it. I was jealous of everybody else. They had costumes and everything like that. As creative as we were, my mother and I, when I was about 8 years old, was that we dressed me up as a country boy. Well, I was a farm boy, and I was a country boy back then. You can't tell the difference. I looked the same bib overalls, bib type overalls and everything. Real creative. I love to be traumatized and scared of costumes and on and on and on. And I hated Halloween. We were always terrorized by the neighborhood and vandalized. We couldn't afford to get candy, and we could not afford to have candy around the house because my mother and I were overweight, and we don't need candy. No temptations. Thank you very much. Becoming a furry changed. Last year I wanted to do Halloween, and by all coincidences, not a single Halloween party or event or anything to go to that I could fursuit at. I could not wear I could not wear my fursuit that day, and I was really scared. I can't remember if that was before or after. Everybody says, Randy, because of your deafness, you have to have a handler. And I was already reluctant beforehand. Now I'm just scared to death to go fursuiting without a handler. Go figure. I'm getting over it and starting to get better. So the times I do fursuit is when there's groups. I've been trying some solo fursuiting, but it's always where there's no people kind of a thing. And so I went to Further Confusion, trying to go to every fursuiting event there is I could afford to go to, and I barely can, and went to the Further Confusion picnic at Lake Chabot in Oakland, California. No, there was no gunfire. This was in the hills, where the hillbillies lived. Actually, where the millionaires live in the hills, or something like that. I can't remember Oakland's neighborhoods that well. And so this wonderful park, it was crowded as all get out. A lot of people were having their picnics that weekend. So it was very busy. And this was also a camping event. So the others, I could not afford the camping stuff. I don't have camping gear. So the others were camping out and that day. And here it is months later, and I can remember as clear as a bell. Oh, it was such a wonderful time. So I was here in Antioch. They were there camping over there. It was Friday, I think it was. And a thunderstorm comes around. So I'm always joking that I here in Antioch sent the guys at Further Confusion Picnic a thunderstorm. You guys got rained on. Yeah, it was from me. Yeah, you got struck by lightning, right? No? Oh, missed you? Oh, damn. Well, okay, fine. Yeah, I can't conjure up thunderstorms. What am I, Thor? No, of course not. So, Saturday was the picnic itself, and I arrived there, wasn't sure where it was supposed to be, and went walking around, outside of fursuit, of course. Always get to know where you're going before you do your thing, and where the people are meeting and so forth. And when walking, looking through all the parking areas, because believe me, you know where the furries are. We're a little different in some ways. Some will have the shirts, ears, tail like me, but not necessarily fursuiters. It's always kind of funny. Everybody kind of keeps waiting and waiting and waiting, and eventually get to fursuiting, suiting up. So we're there picnicking and eating and chatting. I can't hear very well, so I wasn't doing a heck of a lot of chatting as much as I wish I could, and I'm very shy and afraid to go up and talk to people. I'm not afraid to talk to the camera, but make that a person, and I'm going, ah, I don't want to talk to him. Yeah. Oh dear. Anybody got any sedatives? Sedatives. Whatever. So this is distracting from the story. I'm really sorry. This is distracting from the story. Got about 5 more minutes. Well, the battery's dead on my fan anyway. I got to put a new battery in. That's the nice thing about this kind of a head design. This is a shell, and there's a lot of airflow around it. So this fan is cooling my head and blowing away the sweat, so my glasses don't fog up. It's so nice and so comfortable. Other fursuit designs, you have to have the fan go the other way, trying to pull away the heat and so forth, and away from the glasses somehow. But every design works differently, and so this is nice. So this is the one. This is the suit that I could go fursuiting in the desert. Yeah, that'd be comfy, right? Well, you know, I'll get a new version done later down the road, a little more furry-ish, a little more cuddly, I think. Well, that was the thing I was, before that picnic, was afraid I wouldn't even be allowed to be in public, so when I premiered at Fremont in August, I was sure I would not be allowed to fursuit, so I asked the guys, okay, here's my fursuit, am I going to be allowed in public this way? They said, yeah, you look fine. Cool. Not great, but fine. They didn't say that, you know, that's me. You know, a lot of guys say, you should have used fur, you could see all the seams. It's my first fursuit. So, I made it all the way out to the lake. They have boat docks and boats and so forth, and nothing there, so then I went and detoured around, I think, and finally found the group. They were kind of hiding in the back, but in a little small area. So here was like, what, 50 some odd furries squeezed in a little area with a changing tent and everything. Woof! Wow, that was an unusual location. It was a bit small, if you ask me, but I guess they have to pay for it, so keep it cheap. So I met up with everybody and just hung around. I didn't really say, oh, you guys got to do this and that, because I have a hearing impairment. I try to hear what's going on, but I have to ask for assistance, meaning that, say, the organizer needs to be aware. I'm not going to hear them when they make a verbal announcement like they're saying, we're under attack by the Russians, so everybody's going to get out of here right now. So everybody's got to leave. We're being attacked by the Russians. I'll be standing there going, what the fuck is going on, man? Dude, supposed to keep this rated G. Okay, we're going PG here. You know, that's the kind of instructions I like to try to give, is that if a verbal announcement is made, somebody needs to come to me and say it. I mean, to point it out to me when I don't know, especially when I don't know what's going on. I have to find out. I try to ask other people, but the shyness makes it difficult, but I try to ask, you know, what were they talking about? I want to hear it, but I want to hear it completely. I do as much as I can. There's only so much I can do to here. Somebody has to write it to me or something, the whole thing that was said. So there were probably a couple of announcements, and I missed out on them. I had no idea what anything was going on. Shoot, we're supposed to keep this positive. Here at this is the American Sign Language start of the meeting picnic thing. I barely know any American Sign Language, so it's not like I could bring an interpreter with me either. So just hanging around, just me and my tail, and I always wait until the others start to suit up because I have no idea when it is appropriate to do so. I keep thinking these things are organized, which means controlled. You can only suit up from 8:03 to 9:45. If you try to suit up at 8:02, they're going to be kicked out. You know what? No, of course not. Hell, I could have suited up the minute they put the damn tent up. Probably could have too. It was funny. I mean, this was still summer. But anyhow, so we'll get to that the suiting up difficulty I had on part 2. And we'll talk about that, the difficulty I had as to finally be able to get suited up. So, this is part 1, part 2 coming up. And put a battery in the fan because I'm getting a little warm here. Hot lights.